Many hours later.
And here we go, people. Another day done. How's it going out for you? This is one of those days that, while it wasn't terrible at all, I'm just glad it's over. You know, sometimes it's just repetition of some of the same old stuff that can kind of wear you down a little bit. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Looks like traffic's starting to pick up slightly. I think as people get back to work and whatnot. You know, more and more people get vaccines, businesses open up. Before long, it'll be back the way it was a year plus ago, where it'll be bumping and bumper where we're looking right now, which kind of sucks. It won't make for good vlogging, that's for certain. So how was your day at work today? Or maybe you don't work, maybe you're retired, maybe you just don't work at all, I don't know. So how's your day going? Anything new in your lives out there in YouTube land? Good afternoon, YouTube. How you doing today? Yep. Doing okay. Can't wait to get home, make dinner, chill, and, you know, start all over again tomorrow. Yep. So right now my mind's a little empty. I really haven't thought about what I want to discuss, if anything, really. I pretty much went on this morning on my ride in about some things already Indian and whatnot, and that whole circus around new product releases and whatnot. You know, companies are desperate for sales, I guess, and whatnot, and they want to get all the ducks in a row. Can't blame them. It's just interesting when you see a little bit what goes on. It's kind of like anything else, you know, it's like the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, you know. Yep. You know, the flip side of that is, you know, as a consumer, you know, is dealing with dealers and buying things. Maybe that's something I discuss in a future video. What is your experience in buying motorcycles and cars? Might be an interesting discussion. I often look at buying a car or a motorcycle like jumping into a cesspool going after a Wagyu ribeye. You know, it's like something that's really good, really something that you want, but it's kind of a disgusting process, or can be. If you're lucky to find a dealership where they're pretty straight, I would say patronize that dealership. Because it's hard to find someone that is straight, really. I've only found a couple that were, you know, straight enough. Back in Iowa and New York, not so much, man. New York is the cesspool when it comes to sales. That's for damn sure. Although Arizona, out here in the Phoenix area, really isn't all that much better. I mean, some of them put on a pretty good show. You know, they have nice showrooms. Everything's laid out nice. Some of them even have decently knowledgeable salespeople. You know, I had an interesting experience going to Holiday from Scottsdale. They were okay. You know, the salesman he talked to me and wanted to get to know my POV and what I ride and different things. You know, he's trying to find out where I was at, as opposed to some dealerships who right away they go for blood. You know, and really not all that sophisticated at all. They're kind of hoping, you know, they get people that are in, I guess, either desperation or, you know, as we say in some circles, thinking with the little head or the wrong head, you know. So when people get something in their head, they have to have something, you know, it's a belief, forget about it. They'll be taken advantage of, that's for sure. Or it could be, you know. So there's always that, right? You know, you want that little piece of gold someone's selling, you're willing to do anything for it. Kind of interesting, really. People sell their souls for all sorts of things. So, maybe we can find something more positive to talk about, right? What would that be? Let me think about that one. As I make this turn. Seems like motorcycles are out today with the warmer weather. I suppose certain people are more likely to be out riding. Normally this time of the year we're coming up on Arizona Bike Week. Honestly, I don't even know if we're having it this year or what. I really don't keep in touch with that kind of stuff too much. Normally it's a fairly big affair in April. You know, motorcyclists come from all over. Dealerships put on a lot of things. I know there are some, demo rides coming up. I think Harley-Davidson of Chandler is having one this weekend, and Scottsdale's having one the following weekend. And I said earlier, in today, you know, my morning ride, Harley-Davidson is having a Pan American event in the far West Valley here in Westgate at the end of the month, beginning of next month. So there's that too. So I'm going to try to squeeze that in. Although we'll see how that goes. Because currently I'm waiting for my first grandchild to be born. My daughter really is due, you know, a week from now, but she's ready. And on the 1st, I'm going to be heading out to California, San Mateo area, if any of you know California at all. And I'll be visiting with my daughter, her husband, and the baby. So I have that to look forward to, you know. You know, it's our first grandkid, and it's going to be a girl. Maybe she'll be a motorcyclist, who knows, right? You never know. And we'll see what she's like, you know? I'm kind of curious. I never had a grandchild before. That's something new and different. That's about it, really, you know? As the weather heats up here, I'm really not looking forward to summer here. It's fucking brutal, and last summer was extra specially brutal. You know, I forgot what we had, like, it was over 50 days of 110 or higher. Maybe it was 60, I don't know. And it was just nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I'm not looking forward to another summer like that. You know, I hope not. Fucking idiots sneak up in your blind spot there. That's one thing that's a little difficult for me, because most of my neck, the vast majority of my neck is fused. And I really can't turn my head well. This is about it. So, you have that. Seems like getting old is one adjustment after the other. Which, or challenge, as it were. And we keep going. At least that's the plan for now. That's really about all I have going on right now in my world. Just work, vlogging a little bit, This weekend I got the pool in order. There's a pool season is opened up, you know, and there's a lot of maintenance and crap that has to be done with the pool that I had to do this past weekend, repairs and whatnot on certain things. If you ever have a pool, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's a lot more work than you think. So I had that going on. I updated the fire alarms in my house. Put a couple new ones in. And whatnot. That was about it. Just try to detune from work. And, you know, get ready for the week coming up. You know, I find as I get older, it takes longer and longer to detune from work and kind of relax. You know, I almost need like a 4-day weekend. As crazy as that sounds. Maybe it's a foreshadowing of retiring. You know, you get to the point where you just want to say the heck with it. You know, right now I have 3 years, 4 months until I can retire if I want to. Something like that. We'll see. You know, if I have something else going on, maybe I'll retire and just do something else for a little bit, you know. You know, if you work for 42 years, after a while, you know, you get a little, I almost consider it like a repetitive stress injury working. After a while, you get like a yip. If you're into golf, you know what a yip is. Some days you just can't do it anymore. You're just like, why? You know? But you do it anyway. You got family, you got responsibilities, you know. You just do it, right? So here we are, getting off onto the beeline, going over the world famous bridge that Randy T-Bird always talks about. The famous bump that jars everybody, some worse than others. You know. And last time I talked about, you know, new bikes, new cars. I don't know. You know, part of me is like, you know, getting something new, you know, because I used to be the type of person that really took care of my stuff well, like physically looking, you know, wax my vehicle once a month or more. Really crazy stuff. And after having kids, it kind of disabused me of getting crazy about how things look and whatnot. So I think, geez, if I got a new car, a new motorcycle, I'd always be worrying about, you know, is someone going to fuck it up, you know, key it at work, or you never know. There's all sorts of crazy shit, right? You think about, I don't know. But that Challenger really, that's really cool car. I like the RT Scat Pack the best. You know, a lot of people like the Hellcat with that supercharged 6.2. I don't know. They're a lot of money, and they're really expensive to fix, you know, or even maintain, because they don't have standard brakes on them, and those rotors are real expensive. I know that sounds crazy, but you know, when you get into certain things, it's like the cost of ownership can get a little nutty. Whereas the Scat Pack is a little more normal, if you will. You know, and there's 485 horsepower. That should be enough, right? And I love the way the Hemi sounds. They sound really sweet. What the fuck is this guy doing over here? It's 90 degrees out. It's not even April yet. What the fuck? Oh. I don't know where you're from, but I'm from Long Island originally. And it just, you know, it got hot there in August, but that was about it. You know? It had more humidity than here, that's for sure. But when you get over 110, it gets really fucked up. Truly. You haven't lived till you've seen 123 on your temperature gauge, on your sensor. And the humidity's like 1%. It's like you throw a glass of water up in the air and it evaporates. Or at least it seems that way. Tesla. That's one car I am not interested in at all. Totally agree that electric is coming. Everyone's going to have electric eventually. Yeah, it's going to simplify some things. They're quick as hell. But they're soulless. Without soul, without heart. You know? It's an appliance. I don't know. Do you envision yourself riding or driving a Kenmore washer? That's kind of how I look at it. Not even that good. At least washing machines have a certain rhythm to them. More like a quiet dishwasher. So do you guys have any rides planned this summer or spring? A while back I heard Bodine and Harley Dayrider say they were gonna do a Route 66 ride out here, out west, but I don't know if that's gonna come to fruition. They haven't talked about it. If they do go, I'd definitely like to hook up with them. You know, it's probably a 3 or 4 hour ride, depending on where they're going. I'd do it. I'd visit. You know, a few weeks back, I wanted to visit with another YouTube vlogger. They were actually in my area, went through my town, but they didn't have time for me. So what are you gonna do? Everybody's busy, right? So if you have any trips, you know, you could talk about that too, where you want to go. I have a few trips, although they're not motorcycle related. Gonna go visit my daughter and grandkid in a month. And then sometime in the summer I have a trip, probably to do with the christening with that, baptism. And then I have another trip, probably if one of my daughters is going away to college. So there's that. But none of it's motorcycle related at all. Unfortunately. If I can find time in between, maybe I will. But I figure those three will probably eat up half of my vacation time. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll save it for the fall. Late fall, something like that. Got the turn off coming up soon. Everybody starts to slow down, anticipating it. Yeah. Home sweet home. Nothing feels as good as getting home. I think that's the truth. You ever feel like that when you get home? A sense of peace, you get home, you're like, ah, I'm finally home. Yeehaw. I'm home, people, and glad to be home.